I would like to introduce this book to you. It's called Culture Shock in Japan. It's about culture shocks that international students have experienced while living in Japan. As you may know, presently there are about 130,000 foreign students in Japan. It's a government policy to increase this number to 300,000 by year 2020. That's huge and a big change. And I hope, or my wife and I hope, that by writing this book and having people read them, we can soften and lessen the impact of culture shock that students go through. Many students that we talk to, especially from Asian countries, said that they have learned a lot by coming, studying and living in Japan. They like the social rules, they like the manners, they like the way business is conducted in Japan, and I think, and they have said it too, by gaining skills and knowledge here and going back to their own country, they can apply some of these rules and skills they have learned in their own environment. And I think that is one of the main reasons the Japanese government is trying to bring more international students, and hopefully these students can go back to their country and help their people and societies. Many students, of course, as I said, there are about 130,000 international students in Japan, and many come here to study. But I think for some students, more serious students, Japan was not their first choice. They probably tried to go to America, Canada, England, Australia. They couldn't get a visa, or the cost of living was high, and they chose to come to Japan. Some of the students study hard. Some, besides just studying, they work and they learned more about the business world in Japan. And there are a few students also that come here, and I'm not sure if they really want to study. They come here for 1 or 2, 3 years, register for school and classes, but they spend most of their time working, saving money, and then going back to their own country. So the students who come here, they come from diverse background with different purposes. Some of you may know that Japan opens its doors to foreigners not a long time ago, and for a long time foreigners were not allowed into the country. So foreigners are something new in Japan. I remember when I came here 21 years ago, people were pointing at me, oh, foreigner, foreigner, or gaijin, gaijin. It has changed, but still I think many Japanese don't feel comfortable being around foreigners. They don't sit next to them on the train, they don't sit next to them in the restaurant, and so on. And also, if you include the language barrier and how reserved and shy Japanese are, I think the communication between Japanese and foreign students is not ideal. It's not what it should be. And I think Japanese also have this stereotype about certain nationalities. These people are like this, these people are like that, and so there is some misunderstanding. So I think not only foreigners or international students should learn about Japan and history before they come to Japan or when they're in Japan. And I think Japanese should also learn how to tolerate differences, how to accept non-Japanese, how to accept the fact that being different is actually a good point, not a negative point. So we all, both groups, Japanese and non-Japanese, should learn how to respect each other's culture and accept differences. Yes, the main reason for writing this book, of course, is to eliminate stereotype, prejudice, and misunderstanding that sometimes happens between Japanese and non-Japanese. Again, misunderstanding happens when people really don't understand the true meaning of what is being said to them, and people have a perception about certain cultures, certain people. So I also think that stubborn or not very open-minded people have a very closed window that they see the world through. We need to open this window and see what is happening around us and look at other people, their culture with an open mind. If we can do that, I think we can live in a much better society. Not only in Japan, I think it's everywhere. However, I should say that very few people and students that I talk to talk about discrimination and being treated badly in Japan. Most of the people I talk to had a good experience living in Japan. International students overall, they like to interact, communicate more with Japanese. They like to learn more about Japanese culture, and they like to visit Japanese homes. But I don't think the present situation is taking place, and at least not as often as it should be. So that is one drawback. And of course, misunderstanding happens when there is less communication. So Japanese should open themselves more to foreigners. One of the things that universities can do for students is to provide opportunities or create opportune situations where Japanese students and international students can interact with each other through clubs, activities, cultural events, and so on. Locally, I think cities and towns can again organize more events that bring non-Japanese to their community. It is taking place. I should say that in the last 20 years, 21 years I've been here, I've seen a lot of changes for better taking place in Japan. International students that I talk to, they like to work in Japanese companies and learn the skills and work here for 1 or 2 or 3 years and then go back to their countries. But maybe because of the economy or maybe because of language, they cannot find a lot of good jobs. I think the Japanese language requirement and universities should be set higher. The standards for accepting foreign students should be higher. Like in the US, you need to have a TOEFL 500, 550 to enter university. I don't think all the universities in Japan have applied these rules. And so once the students graduate from university in Japan, some of them don't have enough reading and writing skills to function at the university, at the business world in Japan. So if we are not careful and bringing international students here, especially from Asian countries, and don't give them opportunities to find middle-class, white-collar jobs, I'm afraid that if these people stay in Japan, we will help to create a different class, a new class of citizens, foreigners, low-skilled foreigners working in low-skilled jobs. It has happened in countries like Germany, England, even in America. So we don't want that situation. We want highly skilled workers who can work and function just like other Japanese in the society. The kind of shocks that I experienced when I came to Japan. I think this book is useful for people who want to come and study and live here. You can see the book that has our profile here, and it has stories about different aspects of life in Japan. I'm sure you'll enjoy reading it. Thank you.